Here's the vocabulary list that you need to know when filling out your N-400 application. The USCIS officer might also ask you about the definition of some of these words during the interview. It's better to be well prepared than risk failing the interview, so we suggest you study these words just in case. This video covers all of the vocabulary in the N-400 application. Feel free to pause the video if you need more time. I will repeat each word twice and then provide the definition of the word. For some words, I will provide an example to help you understand the usage of the word. Part 1. Information about your eligibility. Naturalization. Naturalization. The process of becoming a citizen of a country that you were not born in. I am going to the naturalization interview tomorrow. I am going to the citizenship interview tomorrow. Eligible. Eligibility. Eligible. Eligibility. You meet the requirements to do something. Are you eligible to become an American citizen? Do you meet all of the requirements to become an American citizen? Part 2. Information about you. Current. Current. The present time or the most recent. What is your current legal name? What is your legal name now? Country of nationality. Country of nationality. The country where you are currently a citizen or national. What is your country of nationality? Which country are you a citizen of? Aliases. Aliases. Different names used by you. Benny is my alias. Benny is another name used by me sometimes. Maiden name. Maiden name. The last name or family name of a woman before she was married. My name is Maria Fleming. My maiden name is Sanchez. My name is Maria Fleming. My last name before marriage was Sanchez. Nickname. Nickname. An informal name that your friends and family call you. My name is John. Little Johnny is my nickname. My name is John. My friends call me Little Johnny sometimes. Legal. Legally. Legal. Legally. Allowed by the law. Do you want to change your name legally? Do you want to change your name officially under the law? Lawful. Lawful. Allowed by law and legal. The date you became a lawful permanent resident. The issued date on your green card. Physical disability. Physical disability. Limitation on a person's body functions or mobility, such as blindness, deafness, or difficulty walking. Developmental disability. Developmental disability. Conditions that are due to mental or physical problems that begin before adulthood, such as autism and dyslexia. Mental impairment. Mental impairment. Conditions in which a part of a person's mind is damaged or is not working properly, such as Alzheimer's disease. Prevent. Prevent. To stop something from happening. Does your disability prevent you from taking the test? Does your disability stop you from taking the test? Demonstrate. Demonstrate. To show or explain. Is there anything that will prevent you from demonstrating your knowledge of English? Is there anything that will stop you from showing your knowledge of English? Exempt. Exemption. Exempt. Exemption. Free from obligation, not required. She is exempt from the English language test. She is not required to take the English language test. Accommodations. Accommodations. Special help or assistance. Are you requesting an accommodation because of your disabilities or impairments? Do you need special help because of your disabilities or impairments? Part 5. Information about your residence. 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 Where you live. What is your current residence? Where do you live now? Physical address. Physical address. Address of where you live. What is your physical address? Where do you live? Mailing address. Mailing address. Address of where you receive your mail. What is your mailing address? Where do you receive your mail? In care of name. In care of name. Name of someone at an address that is different from yours. Part 8. Information about your employment and schools you attended. Occupation. Occupation. Job or profession. What is your occupation? What is your job? employer, employer. The company that hires you or the company that you work for. Who is your employer? What is the name of the company you work for? Self-employed, self-employed. You work for yourself or you have your own business. I am self-employed. I have my own business and work for myself. Unemployed, unemployed. Not working. He is unemployed. He doesn't have a job. Part 10. Information about your marital history. Marital history. Marital history. The history of a person's relationship with the significant other. Spouse. Spouse. A person's husband or wife. What is your spouse's name? What is the name of your husband or wife? Single. Single. Not married now and never married before. Joanne is single. Joanne has never been married. 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 Having a husband or wife. Paul and Eva are married. Paul and Eva are husband and wife. Divorced. Divorced. Married in the past, but not anymore. My parents are divorced. My parents were married, but not anymore. Widowed. Widowed. Your husband or wife died and you have not married again. My widowed uncle still goes to work. My uncle's wife passed away and he didn't remarry and still goes to work. Separated. Separated. Still married but do not live together. My parents are separated and plan to file for divorce soon. My parents don't live together anymore and plan to file for divorce soon. Marriage annulled. Marriage annulled. Marriage that is declared invalid. His second marriage was annulled because he never divorced his first wife. His second marriage was declared invalid because he never divorced his first wife. Previous marriage. Previous marriage. The marriage before the current marriage. Is the child from your previous marriage? Is the child from your last marriage not the current one? Prior spouse. Prior spouse. A person's ex-husband or ex-wife. What is the name of your current spouse's prior spouse, Mark? What is the name of your wife's ex-husband, Mark? Part 11. Information about your children. Deceased. Deceased. Died or passed away. You need to include the name of your deceased child. You need to include the name of your child who died. Stepchildren. Stepchildren. Sons and daughters from one's wife or husband by a former partner. Mary's stepson lives with them. Mary's husband's son from his prior relationship lives with them. Legally adopted child. Legally adopted child. Son or daughter who is legally taken by another family as their own son or daughter. Joseph is legally adopted by the Wongs. Joseph is legally taken by the Wongs as their own son. Part 12. Additional information about you. Questions 1 through 9. Have you ever? Have you ever? In your lifetime. Have you ever voted in a federal election? Have you ever voted in a federal election in your lifetime? Claim. Claim. To say that something is true. He claimed he is an American. He tells people that he is an American. Registered. Registered. To sign up. Have you ever registered to vote? Have you ever signed up to vote? Vote. Vote. A formal choice of a candidate. We vote in November for a president. We formally choose a president in November. Hereditary titles. Inherited titles. Hereditary titles. Inherited titles. The title you receive when you are born into a royal family, such as a prince or princess. Order of nobility. Order of nobility. A position given by a king or queen. Give up. Give up. To stop doing something or abandon something. Are you willing to give up your title? Are you willing to abandon your title? Legally incompetent. Legally incompetent. Can't make decisions for yourself because you have mental problems. He needs a lawyer because he is legally incompetent. He needs a lawyer because he cannot make decisions for himself legally. Declared. Declared. To tell or diagnose. Have you ever been declared legally incompetent? Have you ever been told that you are legally incompetent? Mental institution. Mental institution. a hospital for people with problems in their head. Confined. Confined. To keep. Have you ever been confined in a mental institution? Have you ever been kept in a mental institution? Owe. Owe. Have a debt, be required to pay. I owe $500 in taxes. I have to pay $500 in taxes. Overdue. Overdue. Late, past a deadline. Your taxes are overdue. Your taxes have passed the deadline. Fail. Fail. Not doing something. Have you ever failed to pay your taxes? Have you ever not paid your taxes? File a tax return. File a tax return. Send tax paperwork to the government. You need to file your tax return by April 15th. You need to send your tax paperwork to the government by April 15th. Non-resident. Non-resident. A person who does not live in a specific place. Have you called yourself a non-U.S. resident? Have you called yourself someone who does not live in the U.S.? Questions 10 through 13. The Communist Party. The Communist Party. The government owns and controls everything. Examples are China and North Korea. Totalitarian Party. Totalitarian Party. The government party that has complete control over everything and the people have no power. Terrorist organization. Terrorist organization. An organization that uses violent actions or threats of violent action for political or religious purposes. Advocate. Advocate. Publicly agree with and support. They advocated for the new policy. They publicly supported the new policy. Overthrow. Overthrow. To remove from power, especially by force. They want to overthrow our government. They want to remove our government from power by force. Persecute. Persecute. To hurt someone badly or unfairly, often because of religion or political beliefs. He persecuted his neighbor because of his race. He hurt his neighbor badly because of his race. National origin. National origin refers to where a person was from or where that person's ancestors were from. Nazi. Nazi. The party under Hitler. SS military unit. SS military unit. An organization under the Nazi government. Extermination camp. Extermination camp. A location for keeping a large group of people before killing them. Concentration camp. Concentration camp. A location for keeping a large group of political prisoners or minorities during war. Prisoner of war camp. Prisoner of war camp. A site for keeping enemy soldiers captured during the war. Transit camp. Transit camp. A camp for the temporary accommodation of groups of people such as refugees. Associate. Associate. Have some connection. Are you associated with the Nazi government? Are you connected to the Nazi government in any way? Questions 14 through 21. Genocide. Genocide. Killing a whole group or race of people because of their religion, race, or other reason. Torture. Torture. To cause great physical or mental pain to someone. The guards tortured the prisoners. The guards caused great physical and mental pain to the prisoners. Forcing sexual contact or relations. Forcing sexual contact or relations. Touching the male or female parts of the body when someone doesn't want it. Involve. Involve. To be engaged or participate. Were you involved in a genocide? Did you participate in a genocide? Military unit. Military unit. A group of people that work for a government to fight in a war. Paramilitary unit. Paramilitary unit. Similar to an army, but not official and sometimes not legal. Self-defense unit. Self-defense unit. A group of people who work to protect a place if another group comes to fight them with weapons. Vigilante unit. Vigilante unit. A group of people who act like the police but are not the police. Rebel group. Rebel group. A group of people who fight a government or other group with power. Guerrilla group. Guerrilla group. A group of people who use weapons against or attack the military, police, or government. Militia. militia, an army that does not work for a government. Insurgent organization, insurgent organization, a group that uses weapons to fight against the government of their country. Participate, participate, to be part of. Did you participate in a military unit? Were you part of a military unit? Prison camp, prison camp, a jail or prison for enemy soldiers or other military during a war. Detention facility, detention facility, a jail or prison where people wait before they go to court and have a trial. Labor camp, labor camp, a jail or prison where the prisoners have to do a lot of difficult work. Serve, serve, to work. Have you served in the army? Have you worked in the army? Threaten, threaten, to warn, to hurt someone. Did you threaten John because he is Asian? Did you tell John that you're going to hurt him because he is Asian? Recruit, recruit, to hire or ask. Did you recruit someone to sell the weapons? Did you hire someone to sell the weapons? Enlist, enlist, to sign up or join an organization, especially the armed forces. He is enlisted in the Navy. He signed up for the Navy. Conscript, conscript, to force someone to work as a member of a group. He conscripted his younger brother into the military unit. He forced his younger brother to be a part of the military unit. Combat, combat, fighting during a time of war. He died in combat. He died in the fight during the war. Questions 22 through 29. Sealed, sealed, closed. Expunged, expunged, erased or removed. Cleared, cleared, forgiven or removed. Constitute, constitute, to be considered. This no longer constitutes a record. This no longer is considered a record. Disclose the information. Disclose the information. To provide or reveal the information. Can you disclose the information about your company? Can you provide the information about your company? Crime. Crime. An action that breaks the law. She has to pay for her crime. She has to pay for her action that broke the law. Offense. Offense. Minor crime or violation of the law. I was stopped by the police for a traffic offense. I was stopped by the police for a traffic violation. Commit. Commit. To do something. Did you commit any crime in your country? Did you do anything that broke the law in your country? Assisted in committing. Assisted in committing. To help in doing something. Have you assisted him in committing the illegal activities? Have you helped him in doing the illegal activities? Attempted to commit. Attempted to commit. To try to do something. He attempted to commit crime. He tried to do something that is illegal. Arrest. Arrest. Taken in handcuffs by the police. James was arrested for hurting his wife. James was taken in handcuffs by the police because he hurt his wife. Cited. Cited. Ordered by the police to appear in court for doing something illegal, such as a traffic ticket. She was cited for driving too fast. She was ordered by the police to appear in court because she drove too fast. Detained. Detained. Stopped by or held in custody by police officers or government officials. He was detained by the immigration officer because he entered the country illegally. He was stopped and held by the immigration officer because he entered the country illegally. Charged. Charged. Police gave you a formal statement that you did something illegal. Jimmy was charged for his crime. Jimmy was legally told by police that he committed a crime. Convicted. Convicted. Found guilty of a crime under the law. He was convicted of murder. He was found guilty of killing someone under the law. Alternative sentencing. Alternative sentencing. A different way to punish someone instead of going to jail, such as community service. Rehabilitation program. Rehabilitation program. A program to help someone to restore health, usually drug or alcohol related. Diversion. Diversion. A different program such as a rehabilitation program to avoid jail time. Withheld adjudication. Withheld adjudication. The judge did not convict you of the crime, though you may be guilty. It's like a second chance. Deferred prosecution. Deferred adjudication. Deferred prosecution. Deferred adjudication. Different legal agreements that allow you to stay out of jail by agreeing to alternative sentencing, such as community service or parole. Sentence. Sentence. A punishment under the law. Courtney was sentenced to 12 years in prison for her crime. Courtney was punished to 12 years in prison under the law for her crime. Suspended sentence. Suspended sentence. Delaying of a sentence. Probation. Probation. A time when a prisoner is allowed to leave early but is required to regularly report to the police. Matt is on probation. Matt is released from the prison early but still needs to report to the police regularly. Parole. Been paroled. Parole. Been paroled. The judge let a prisoner leave early with the agreement that the person will behave well. Timmy is on parole because of his good behavior in prison. Timmy was released from prison early because of his good behavior in prison. Jail. Prison. Jail. Prison. A building where police take people who are arrested for breaking the law. Outcome or disposition. Outcome or disposition. The final status of a case. What is the disposition of your case? What is the final status of your case? Questions 30 through 36. Habitual drunkard. Habitual drunkard. Drinks too much alcohol regularly that gets the person into trouble. My uncle is a habitual drunkard and misses work regularly. My uncle drinks too much regularly and therefore always misses work. Prostitute. Prostitute. Someone who has sex with another person for money. Procure. Procure. To find someone for sex. She was accused of procuring girls for the rich. She was accused of hiring girls for the rich. Smuggle. Smuggle. To take things or people to or from a country illegally. He was arrested for smuggling drugs into the country. He was arrested for bringing drugs illegally into the country. Controlled substances. Controlled substances. Legal drugs that can be acquired with a prescription, but with restrictions. Narcotics. Narcotics. An illegal drug such as heroin or cocaine. Obtain. Obtain. To get or gain something. She married Tom to obtain her green card. She married Tom to gain her green card. Immigration benefit. Immigration benefit. Things like a visa, green card, or citizenship. Gamble. Gamble. To play a game for money or property. He loves to gamble in Las Vegas. He loves to play games for money in Las Vegas. Dependent. Dependent. A person who is relying on another person financially. I put my daughter as my dependent on my tax form. I put my daughter as someone who is relying on me financially on my tax form. Pay alimony. Pay alimony. Money that a person has to pay to an ex-partner after a divorce under the law. After Ben's divorce, he has to pay his ex-wife alimony monthly. After Ben's divorce, he has to pay his ex-wife money monthly. Misrepresent. Misrepresentation. Misrepresent. Misrepresentation. To lie about who you are or something you did. Have you ever made any misrepresentation of your immigration status? Have you ever lied about your immigration status? Public benefit. Public benefit. Money from the government for things that can help you, such as food stamps. False. False. Not true. What he said is false. What he said is not true. Fraudulent. Fraudulent. To make people believe a lie so you can get something you want. He made fraudulent claims for unemployment benefits. He submitted fake paperwork for unemployment benefits. Mislead. Mislead. Causes a person to believe something that is not true. She misled the officer by telling him that she is a citizen. She told the officer that she is a citizen when she is not. Lie. Lie. To say things that are not true. Have you ever lied under oath? Have you ever said things that are not true under oath? Admission. Admission. The right to join or enter. Her admission into the United States is based on her immigration status. Her right to enter the United States is based on her immigration status. Exclude. Exclude. To prevent or restrict the entrance of. He is excluded from the United States because of his fraudulent claims. He is prevented from entering the United States because of his false claims. Deport. Deport. To force a person to leave a country. She was deported because her visa expired. She was forced to leave the country because her visa was no longer valid. Rescission. Rescission. Taking back a decision or taking away something. The judge's ruling included the rescission of your green card because of your false claims. The judge ruled that you are losing your green card because of your false claims. Deportation proceedings. Deportation proceedings. Legal process of removing or deporting a person. He is waiting for his deportation proceedings. He is waiting for the legal process before he will be deported. Pending. Pending. Waiting to happen. Your application is pending for approval. Your application is waiting for approval. Questions 37 to 44. Deploy. Deploy. To move soldiers or other military to a new place so that they can be ready. Stationed. Stationed. A soldier stays in one place for some time as part of their job. Court-martialed. Court-martialed. Go to a military court. Discharged. Discharged. A soldier leaves the military and stops being a soldier. Avoid being drafted. Avoid being drafted. Prevent from being selected. Deserted. Deserted. Abandon or give up. Armed forces. Armed forces. U.S. military or U.S. Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. Selective service. Selective service. Service in the armed forces under law. Questions 45 to 50. Oath. Oath. A promise to tell the truth. Allegiance. Allegiance. To be loyal to. Oath of allegiance. Oath of allegiance. An oath to be loyal to. Are you willing to take the oath of allegiance to the United States? Are you willing to promise to be loyal to the United States? Bear arms. Bear arms. To own or use a gun. You have the right to bear arms because of the Second Amendment. You have the right to own a gun because of the Second Amendment. Non-combatant. Non-combatant. One that does not engage in combat or fighting. You need to perform non-combatant services if needed by the government. You are required to provide services that do not involve fighting if needed by the government. Work of national importance. Work of national importance. Tasks that are important to a nation, usually during a war. Civilian. Civilian. A person who is not in the military. Tom is a civilian. Tom is not in the military. That's it. Hope this video helps you to fill out the N-400 application and assist you with your naturalization interview. Good luck!